Hey, good morning, Warhawks. This is Colonel Wilson, Chief Butcher, back at you for Freeform Friday, episode 30. After, I think I've had about 3 weeks out now, Chief. It's great to be back. I've been off. The Air Force saw fit to send me to a course, and so that's why I've been out, and then I took a little bit of leave with the family in North Carolina, so eager to be back. Thanks so much to you and Colonel Schaefer for carrying the torch while I was away, but I'm really happy to be back. And actually, we're coming to everybody here very early this morning because we're here for a course, Executive Technical Training 101 here at Keesler Air Force Base. So even though it's my first one back, we're kind of doing it geographically separated. So, but it's been a great course so far, and I just want to say thanks to everybody for covering down for me while I've been away. It's been nice to have a little bit of time off, but I'm eager. I'm chomping at the bit to get back here. So, how was your time while I was away, Chief?
It was pretty constant, but very rewarding, fulfilling as usual, sir.
That's great. Well, there's a lot to talk about here. So we're here, Executive Technical Training 101. We're here with peers and friends from all over 2nd Air Force that come in here to learn about what we call our training pipeline, which consists of all the way from recruiting to basic military training to technical training to get them back out in the operational Air Force, kind of learning how that whole process works. I've been in the chair for about 9 months, so some of this is already known, but at the same point, it's good to hear and have discussions with other wing commanders, other command chiefs, inbound group commanders, just about the training pipeline and our passion, which is training our airmen and getting them out to the operational Air Force. You know, we've had a lot of conversations about that. Yeah. Great. Okay. Well, also wanted to say congratulations to my boss, Major General Tullos, who came out yesterday. The list came out, and she is going to be replacing General Spangenthal as the Deputy Commander of Air Education and Training Command. That's really great, going from 2nd Air Force, from the numbered Air Force here to the DCOM for the MAGCOM. She's been an awesome boss, a great leader, has a great strategic vision, and she's obviously the right person for ATC, so we're excited to have her headed there. It's good to have friends in high places.
Yes, congratulations, ma'am.
All right, so we'll talk about the vaccine for a minute, COVID-19 vaccine. So we have seen more vaccine shipments come into JBSA in the 59th Medical Wing, and in fact, it looks like they've moved now from, when it comes to the DoD priority schema, from 1 Bravo, which is kind of your mission essential personnel, your very critical mission essential personnel, to more of your general population, although still critical, 1C. So they now are in 1C, and I think yesterday the general population of our wing started getting vaccinated. Yesterday afternoon, there was a whole litany of folks that were over at the medical wing getting vaccinated. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on it?
Not really. I mean, it's there's been a lot of folks been kind of asking about this of when can they get their shot, and I guess now.
Yeah.
We're in the 1 Charlie cohort, so as far as the DoD schema, so I think that's good news for those that want. It's still a voluntary vaccine. And for those members that want to go ahead and get that, military or civilian members that fall under 1 Charlie.
That's right. Yeah, it's exciting. We've had a lot of folks that are very interested in getting the vaccine, and just haven't had the numbers quite yet to get there. But here we are in kind of middle of March, and we're starting to see that happen. It's exciting. It's great news for our wing. All right, some more news. We opened 2 new Airmen Morale Centers for the 343rd Training Squadron. 343rd Training Squadron, for those that don't know, is our Security Forces Academy, and all our Security Forces defenders that are in the training pipeline going through the apprentice course. So that's a partnership between not only our wing, but the Chaplains Corps of the 502nd Air Base Wing, and then the USO also was a big part of that. So really exciting. We've had the refuge up and running for a while now, which supports both the 344th and the 343rd, but the 2 new Airmen Morale Centers that are over by the 343rd will be a little bit easier for our defenders to get to and kind of spread the wealth a little bit there. So that's great news for us. And just a big thanks to, again, the Chaplains Corps, Chaplain Massey, Chaplain Manry, and Chaplain Navius, our lead chaplain here for the 37th Training Wing, for all your support and trying to get that up. But we also don't forget about a 37 training group who's worked very hard as well to try and get that initiative going. So it's great for our tech training pipeline. All right, let's see. We had some senior master sergeants announced this week, Chief.
Sure.
All right, yeah. Let's go ahead and announce the names. We sent it out. It came out in the worldwide list. They were all notified here, I think, late last week. but we'll go ahead and read off the list. If you want to start,
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so we have Senior Master Sergeant Select Ryan Stark, and hailing from the 344th.
344th. He's the COE from the Center of Excellence there, the Career Enlisted Aviators Center of Excellence. Congratulations to him. We had Senior Master Sergeant Holly Vaught, who was also our Blue Rope of the Year. Senior Master Sergeant Select, I should say, from the 326th Training Squadron.
Yeah. And we got Senior Master Sergeant Select Julia Barboza from the Defense Language Institute, 332nd Training Squadron. So
she's covering down for you right now, right?
She's actually stepping up and probably doing better than me as the group superintendent for DLI. So way to go, Julia.
Senior Master Sergeant Select Velez from IAFA. I think he's the 837 Training Squadron, if I'm not mistaken. He's the superintendent for that. Yeah.
And then we got Senior Master Sergeant Select Randall Hernandez. I think also from the 344th.
344th had a great day.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure. So congrats to all you. Also, we had going on this week the 331st Training Squadron, BMT Line Squadron, had a Ruck march and a food drive out there supporting the community. They did a 5-mile march. They had their backpacks loaded down, and it was a great effort.
Mm-hmm.
They did the Ruck, and then they raised some food for those that are in need.
Yes, sir. Actually, like to circle back to that Senior Master Sergeant.
Oh yeah,
such a huge accomplishment, right? So, congratulations to you all once again and your families. And you know, the Air Force Congress only allows the military to have top 2.5%, 2.5% to serve in the super grade of Senior Master Sergeant. And so that's a major accomplishment, and one that your team on the home front should revel in, as well as the team in the work center, because we don't get these super grades by ourselves, sir. And I just wanted to express that, and congratulations to all these teams and families that are watching right now of our Senior Master Sergeant Selects in Warhawk Nation. And we actually had a few others we had 6 others that were with us, but had PCS'd on, and obviously they're celebrating with their new teams somewhere else out in the Air Force. But congratulations to them.
I think total of 11 from between
yes,
the ones that were here and the ones that
right.
the ones that were here on our roles before they PCS'd.
Right.
It speaks a ton to the 37 Training Wing and the value the Air Force sees in our mission.
Absolutely. And I kind of wanted to talk about promotions a little bit too, and because I'm sure we got some enlisted service members tuned into this, and hey, COVID, the pandemic. So the Air Force is seeing a little bit less. We promoted a little bit less to Senior Master Sergeant than we traditionally do. Number one, it's tough, right, to make these grades, but we about 6% across the Air Force of those that were promotion eligible that were promoted, right, to serve in that grade. But we look at the pandemic, and not as many people are getting out of the service, and there's just not as many
opportunities.
Yep. So to all the master sergeants that didn't get it this year, I just want you to hang in there, man. The Air Force gets it right 100% of the time, right now it might be a little bit of number game, and maybe you get it next year. But just wanted to let our Warhawks know too that didn't get picked up. That hey, man, our heart is with you, still pulling for you. It can still happen, man. So.
Yeah, hang in there, right? I mean, just keep working. That's what it's all about. It's all about your ability to serve in the next higher grade. And if you were, if you were one that didn't make it this go around, it doesn't necessarily reflect on that. It just means you got to have a little bit more patience. But we do. We got a ton of talent, and the Air Force has a ton of talent. So just keep working hard, and don't get down. But for those that did make it, what I wanted to say was. There's very few times in your life that you get the chance to be promoted in our Air Force. Like at the most, 9, right? Or 8, I guess technically, if you don't count the first one. So don't miss that opportunity to celebrate, because it's too easy just to move on, right? Like, okay, great, I'm going to be a Senior Master Sergeant. Next thing, like if that's your mindset, then what's the point, right? Like that's what this is all about, is to grow and develop leaders. And to enjoy our accomplishments. If you can't enjoy your accomplishments, then then all it is just work, and there's no fun. And that's not what our Air Force is about. Our Air Force is about having a lot of fun. So go home. I know it's kind of past, because I was out when the announcement came out initially, but go home, spend time with family, really reflect on your career, really relish in your success, and embrace your accomplishments, and and really feel that in, because that'll make you, if you do that, you take the time to do that, that's going to make you a better senior master sergeant in the future. So congrats again. All right, so this next week coming up, we start our next series of commanders calls. Looking forward to that. We're going to have a total of 5. So the way that we have done our commanders calls is we have a rotating kind of construct where we go one round, we'll do it all by unit, and that's what we're doing now. So we're going to do each group one at a time in the wing staff agency. So we'll do all 4 of our groups, and then we'll do the wing staff. And then we have the rotation where we do it by rank demographics, and we'll do the E6 and below, we'll do the senior NCOs, we'll do the field grade officers, we'll do the civilians, the civilian non-supervisory, civilian supervisory, and company grade officers. So we'll have 6. So we rotate between doing 5 and then doing 6, right? So we're on the 5 cycle rotation here, and we'll be talking about a number of things that are going on our wing. Look forward to having everybody jump into the commanders calls. They will be done both partially virtually and partially in person, to kind of be able to make sure we have the appropriate CDC guidelines in place. But we're looking forward very much to being able to communicate and talk to everybody. I'm just looking forward to having been gone for 2 weeks, and now partially this week, just to kind of getting back into the flow. So it's exciting for me. The other thing is that we didn't mention while we're here is we met our new inbound command chief, Chief Morgan, this week. So Chief Morgan, I think first day on the job, 19 April. So look for that. We'll miss Chief Butcher, but we won't really, because he's still going to be around. He's just going to go back to DLI. But Chief Morgan's inbound, the new command chief, who's here actually at the ETT 101 course with us. So great opportunity, Chief.
Yes. Yeah, I think this. Last week Colonel Schaefer and I talked about. Actually, I guess the past 2 weeks we've been talking about professional development and how important it is to invest in yourself and as well as your team. So I think it's just awesome example. I mean, over the past 2 weeks, you were out, getting some professional tech training 101, the executive tech training course to make us more in tune here, but with the business rules of tech training organization. But I don't know, you want to talk about professional development a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, so we all need professional development. I've been in the Air Force for 22 years. I'm a sitting wing commander, and the Air Force is still invested. At this point, even as late in my career as it is, it just tells you a lot about what our Air Force values. And they sent me off to Chapel Hill, North Carolina, where I went to the Enterprise Leadership Seminar. General Looney and Chief Jordan, two retired senior leaders from our Air Force, were there as the course mentors, and we had Air Force leaders from all over the Air Force that were there participating in the ELS at Chapel Hill, North Carolina. For those that haven't had the opportunity to go to Chapel Hill, it is a beautiful campus, right? Known for their basketball, Tobacco Road, right down the road from Duke. But I had the opportunity to spend a week there, and even at my age and my rank, man, it was just such a great experience to do that, walked around campus, and then really just embracing, learning from my peers and trying to share the experiences that I've had in the Air Force. And so the ELS brings in some of the best professors. Obviously they're in North Carolina, but they talk about things that are very relevant.
Hey, we're back on, sir.
Back on?
Yes, sir. Hey, nothing like Freeform Friday. We are filming live, and we just had our signal drop a little bit. So apologies to all those that are logged in and watching. But
anyway, I was talking about the ELS course, but it was great. So talk about strategy, about leadership principles, about negotiation, whole series of different things for senior leaders. So thanks again. Just a reflection of our Air Force, the fact that it cares all throughout your entire career. So thanks so much for you guys for holding down the fort while I was away. And then we'll talk about extremism, stand down. That's a big thing going across our Air Force. So we have our classes coming up. We had our squadron commanders this week for a little bit. Speaking of professional development, we bring them in probably once a quarter, once every couple months, take care of each other. And if somebody exhibits anything that looks a little bit out of the ordinary, whether it was before this or after this, you're always going to try and lend a helping hand. And that's what this is about, is just to continue to monitor each other and take care of each other, in my opinion. What do you think, Chief?
I think this is stuff we do every day, right? So number one, I think the extremism stand down is a wonderful opportunity for us to get together as a team. I mean, we need this, right? With the pandemic, right? We haven't, we've been doing a lot of stuff.
We've not been able to, We do. One of the things that we realize is that we give up some of our rights when we join the military. When we raise our right hand as citizens to become members of our armed forces, we do give up some rights. And one of those rights is can be the First Amendment under certain circumstances, because as military members, we are agnostic of politics. We are agnostic of some of those things that are sort of driving our country apart right now. And so we are here we swore an oath to the Constitution.